the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute, back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? Back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP.
Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Imagine this. You're scrolling through the markets and you see XRP soaring. 81.6% of its supply is in profit. Sounds like a dream, right? But hold up. Something weird is happening. Traders in Korea, one of the hottest crypto hubs, are suddenly turning bearish. Why? What's got them spooked? And then there's Tether. USDT mints and burns are dancing with Bitcoin's price cycles in ways that you need to understand if you're trading. Oh, and Jack Dorsey's block just got slapped with a $40 million fine for crypto compliance issues. These stories aren't just headlines, they're signals that could change how you play this crypto game. Today, I'm breaking it all down for you in simple terms, why these moves matter, what's driving them, and how you can stay ahead. The crypto markets wait for no one, and right now it's moving fast. Miss this and you might miss the next big opportunity, or worse, a costly mistake. Stick with me until the end. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of our Altcoin Pro University crypto platform, where traders like you are crushing it with exclusive strategies. Plus, we'll be jumping over to X to find out all of the breaking news that's happening in crypto today. We'll dive deeper into Jack Dorsey's $40 million fine, how USDT mints and burns move Bitcoin price cycles, why is Korea turning bearish on XRP, and much more in today's video. And if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do here and bring it to you in a condensed manner, make sure you subscribe today. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. And as always, let's start this off right here at CoinMarketCap to check out the overall health of the crypto market, currently coming in at $2.53 trillion total market cap. We are down 3.72%. If we take a look at this 30-day chart here, we are seeing something develop that could be potentially very positive for the markets. You can see we had a low here, a higher low here, and if we continue moving to the upside, an even higher low here with higher highs as well. The only thing that we still need to make sure is that we break back above this resistance level from April 4th, getting above that 2.7 trillion. And realistically, we need to be getting above $2.8 trillion so we can feel confident that we have broken some new market structure. There was $103 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours, which is pretty solid. Fear and greed index experiencing crazy whipsaw yesterday, all the way down at extreme fear of 15. Today, all the way up to 25, even though we are having a rough day in the markets today as well. Last week, it was all the way up at 24. Last month, extreme fear of 17. So is this potentially the double bottom that a lot of people have been talking about? March 10th bottomed out at 15, and then we also had yesterday bottoming out at 15. Now starting to make that pump up to the 25 level. Really need to see this thing pop back up above the 40 and start making it way back up to the 60 levels. Altcoin season index still blistering in the Bitcoin season. I know a lot of you guys are altcoin holders, XRP army, Solana, and on and on. Unfortunately, right now, it is still Bitcoin season, up at currently sitting at 18. It's just been trading in this range below the 25 level here. Broke down below here on February 26th and has not poked its head back above 25 since then. Bitcoin dominance still continuing to dominate at 62.3%, up 1.05%. As you know, there is a direct correlation between Bitcoin's dominance and altcoin season as well. Right now, it is still Bitcoin season. Taking a look at the last 30 days in the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, let's just focus on Bitcoin alone here. We can't see the middle of March until the end of March. Started to have a nice flow to the upside. Unfortunately, the end of March, the very end, and then also this beginning of April has been to the downside significantly. Our largest sell-off coming on April 7th of $326 million to the downside. And when we break this out to the yearly, as you can see, the reason we track this so closely on my segment here, once we started seeing these ETFs pumping to the upside, that is when we really started to see the charge in price of Bitcoin as well. and vice versa. Once that volume started to fold as far as the ETFs go, and even to the downside, we can see continued drops in the Bitcoin price. Taking a look at our top 5 cryptos by total market cap, Bitcoin coming in at number 1 at $1.5 trillion. Ethereum at number 2, 183 billion, back under 200 billion. It was above yesterday. Tether coming in at 144 billion at number 3. XRP at number 4 at 114 billion. BNB at number 5 at 82 billion. USDC, and then Solana taking a super drop down to number 7, currently sitting at $58 billion. Heading over to X to check out the news. In some positive news that has just come out, John Bollinger, the classic Bollinger Band W bottom setting up on Bitcoin USD still needs confirmation. If you're not familiar with John Bollinger, Bollinger is the guy who created the Bollinger Bands. And with his indication here, he is saying that we could have potential bottom. As we see on the charts here, the Bollinger Bands, this is the upper band and this is the lower band. And in the middle line is the median. We can see that Bitcoin coming down and making the potential bottom, the double bottom of the W move here. Also seeing right now that the RSI has zeroed out on his indicator. We can see last time his indicator down here was chopping at the bottom and then the move to the upside. And if we zoom in a little closer, we can definitely see that pattern starting to shape out. So we will continue to track the Bitcoin Bollinger Bands for you, and make sure you head over to X and follow John Bollinger. This could be a signal for a bottom. That would be very exciting. As you guys saw in the intro of the video, Brad Garlinghouse talked about XRP could be the next Bitcoin.
April 15th, 2025. This is a huge date because it's the deadline for 2 high-paying tax credits that you probably haven't heard about, but you can still get if you take action right now. We've partnered with the relief consultants who are experts in the tax code who've recovered over $100 million for their clients so far. So if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, listen up so we can get you help and reach our goal of recovering $10 million for the Bull Runners community before the April 15th deadline. So here's how it works. If you're a business owner who had employees in 2021, then you qualify for an average $150,000 check from the Treasury and possibly more with the Employee Retention Credit Program. So if you were told in the past that you don't qualify, get a second opinion now through the link in the description below this video, because there are rules and regulations that have changed just recently. So there's a high likelihood that you do qualify now. And if you sold your business or you shut it down, you still qualify as long as you were active in 2021. So don't miss out. Schedule an appointment with the link below. Just click business owner with employees if it applies to you. There's also a second tax credit that also ends April 15th. So this is for the bull runners who are self-employed in 2021. So if you were a 1099, not W-2, and self-employment was your primary income, the Treasury check for this tax credit can go up to $32,220 with an average of $17,000. So if you were self-employed in 2021 and want to see if you haven't claimed this credit, which nobody has from our community thus far for some strange reason. We've been talking about this in several videos. I don't know, man. Maybe you just want the Treasury to keep your money. But if you want to get money back in your pocket, then schedule a consultation. Don't be lazy. Do this right now before April 15th through the link below. Just click self-employed if you think you qualify for both credits. Let the rep know on the call. And by the way, if you have your tax returns from 2020 and 2021 for this credit, it will be a faster turnaround for you. So have them ready on your call, and they can literally tell you if you qualify on your first call to get you paid. So if you need more money back in your pocket for this bull run, take action right now, click the link, and let's get you paid.
And as you know, personally, I'm an optimist. I'm always looking for the potential move to the upside. We have not been very upside as far as prices go. Obviously, we've had tons and tons of fundamental news coming out that should be moving us to the upside. Here's another piece of fundamental news that should help us with the move to the upside as well. Massive $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin inflow to accumulation addresses. Now, Bitcoin accumulation addresses received 48,575 Bitcoin, the largest single day inflow since February 1st, 2022. When accumulation addresses move this aggressively, it's worth paying attention to. So obviously we got this line here, which is going to be the price. And then we also have our price simple moving average of 30, which is the line that's tracking it. But what we're mostly worried about here is this inflow, which is going to be the purple color. 48.575 thousand Bitcoin was just inflowed right here on this date, April 9th, 2025. Accumulation address. These are whales essentially that they've been tracking that show signs of accumulation before big moves. And we can also see the triangle pattern here with the move to the upside. And if we take a look, we can see the last time that this spiked up was right here, November and December of 2024. There was a big spike here. And then right before the end of December, we had this big spike before the beginning of January, which led us all the way up into that new all-time high, of course. So big spike here, big spike here, big spike here. But the biggest spike of all just happened now. And they just got a huge amount of inflow on April 9th. Are they front running the markets? Just in, Florida House Committee passes Bitcoin reserve bill. As you starting to notice, state after state after state is really getting on board with this.
So I ask you to have the faith today, the faith to vote up on this very important bill, HB 487. You'll remember those numbers because it'll come back as the day when you stood tall for the great state of Florida and made the vote that put Florida in the leading edge of this very new technology in our state and throughout our nation. And for that, I close.
Thank you. Kimberly, would you please call the roll?
Chair Yeager.
Yes.
Vice Chair Cassell.
Yes.
Thank you, Kimberly. By your vote, the bill will be reported favorably.
So congratulations, Florida House. Next up, we have Justin, New Hampshire House passes their Bitcoin reserve bill. And alert, when the wealthiest man in crypto talks, you listen. CZ, founder of Binance with a net worth over $60 billion, just predicted that the two biggest sectors in crypto in the coming years will be, the first one, of course, AI, and the second one he mentions, decentralized science. Translation from the video, he says, watch for AI and DeSci projects. While this may be a surprise to many, this is exactly what I've been saying. I expected this sector to catch mainstream adoption and billions of dollars in institutional retail investment this year. Main winners will be, according to Jolly Green Investor, which I follow very closely, they usually pull out some good calls here. Axon DAO, AXGT, Mudo Hub, DNA, POSI, Don DAO, SCI. Won't be surprised if they all do a 10 to 100x this year. And for those of you that are not aware, Altcoin Pro University has been calling out decentralized science for weeks now. Make sure you head over to bullrunners.com. Click the link down in the description to sign up for Altcoin Pro University, where we go over multiple different market updates and reasons that you should be at least paying attention to decentralized science. So stay ahead of everyone, even ahead of CZ, by joining Altcoin Pro University. And coming in with some big news, Jack Dorsey's company Block just got hit with a $40 million fine. Why? Regulators say Block's Cash App dropped the ball on crypto compliance and anti-money laundering rules. Block's been letting users buy Bitcoin for years, but allegedly they didn't do enough to screen risky transactions or report suspicious activity. This is a big deal because Block's a major player and Jack Dorsey is a crypto legend. A fine like this raises questions about how tight regulations are getting. If big companies like Block are getting called out, smaller platforms might be next. For you, it's a reminder, compliance isn't just boring paperwork, it's the backbone of crypto's future. Plus, this could shake up Block's plan to push Bitcoin harder. Like Dorsey's idea to add Bitcoin payments to Signal. Keep an eye out on how this plays out, and it might ripple across the industry. And despite that, though, Cash App continues to be a source of growth, with the unit recording $1.38 billion in gross profit in Q4. The mobile payment service had more than 57 million monthly transacting users in early 2024. So the Block is still crushing it. They did get a fine. Will Jack Dorsey continue his push to put Bitcoin on the Signal app? And speaking of Bitcoin, some of you guys may have been hearing about the fact that the reason that Bitcoin pumps is because of USDT, and USDT is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Well, let's look into Tether's USD minting burning pattern, suggesting the stablecoin might still be one of Bitcoin's most sensitive pressure gauges. Data from Whale Alert shows a relation between USDT issuance and Bitcoin price movements, plotting Tether's next minting and burning alongside price of Bitcoin from 2015 to early 2025. So here's the deal. When Bitcoin's price is climbing, Tether mints new USDT. Think billions of dollars worth. That's fresh cash flooding into the crypto markets, fueling rallies. But when Bitcoin dips, Tether burns USDT, pulling money out. But why is this important? Well, it's like a heartbeat for the market. More USDT usually means bullish vibes, while burns can signal a slowdown. For traders, spotting these patterns can help them over time and predict their moves. If you see big USDT mint, it might be a clue that Bitcoin's about to pop. And on the flip side, burns could mean that it's time to play defense. So as we can see here on the chart, Bitcoin price and its pumps and dumps along the way. And then we have this chart right here in the middle, which green is the actual minting of new USDT. The red is the burning of USDT. So where we're at right now, we can see during this super pump to the upside, we were getting continuous new mints growing the marketplace for USDT. Then we started to see it start to taper off, the volume starting to drop. We even have some burns right here. That was during a drop. So what we need to be paying attention to right now is more minting, more creation of USDT, and that could front run Bitcoin's next move to the upside. However, it is important to note that we have not observed this correlation over the past few months. I expect that as stablecoins see increasing adoption in non-native crypto use cases, this correlation will gradually weaken over time. But we also have, for example, RLUSD or Ripple USD coming onto the market as well. So there are going to be more and more and more stablecoins coming onto the market where they don't have to only use USDT. A more recent example, Bitcoin went on a bull run from 66 on October 25th, 2024 to over 106,000 on December 16th. The first significant mint in this cycle was 1 billion issuance at the end of Bitcoin's trip to 72,000 on October 30th before a short-lived correction. Bitcoin had another climb from 65 to 75 with another 6 billion minted at the end of this rally on November 6th. So as we can see right here, we're in October. Price starts to climb a little bit. Price spikes up pretty nicely. And sure enough, November, we see some big 6 billion mints, 6 billion mints, 6 billion mints. These other levels are 3 billion, as you can see here, but these are spiking up to 6 billion. These one even up over 6 billion with a slight pullback, but then a charge to the upside. A mint of $6 billion November 18th marked the beginning of Bitcoin's next leg up, kicking off a rally that pushed the price just under 99,000 by November 22nd. In the same stretch, Tether issued another 9 billion in 3 separate batches. Another mint of 7 billion on November 23rd came just before the brief pullback, Bitcoin's ultimate surge to 106,000. USDT burns and lag behind Bitcoin corrections. Conversely, though, periods of sustained USDT burns when USDT is removed from circulation often occur during or shortly after market corrections. And this pattern suggests that redemptions tend to follow price pullbacks. January 10th, 2025, 2.5 billion UST mint occurs before Bitcoin rebounds to 106,000. And then on February 28th, another 2 billion USD is burned following a month-long decline from Bitcoin's 6-digit peak to around 84,000. Unlike mints, burns rarely precede downward moves in the same way that some mints appear to front-run rallies. Instead, they tend to confirm what's already underway, and this makes them useful for tracking post-peak behavior and assessing the scale of the market cooling rather than identifying tops in real time. And finishing up with 81.6% of XRP supply is in profit, but traders in Korea are turning bullish, but here's why. Glassnode data indicates that 81.6% of XRP's current circulating supply remains in profit despite the 46% correction from $3.40. Data shows traders in Korea played a significant role in buying the first XRP dip below $2. On February 3rd, investors on Upbit and Bybit exchange filled their bids below $2, pushing the altcoin's value back to $2.89 on February 13th. However, sentiment has flipped over the past few days. Anonymous market analyst Dom pointed out that Korean traders executed 1.4 million trades on the XRP Korean won pair, with 62% being sell orders, resulting in a net sale of 120 million XRP between April 6th and 7th. The data follows the trend of heavy selling from long-term whales and new investors as retail confidence in XRP continues to slip. Last week, Cointelegraph reported over 1 billion in positions being offloaded at an average price of $2. Now, I have seen people on multiple social media platforms, they are capitulating. They are starting to feel that we're going to potentially be heading back to 60 cents. We're done with this bull run. XRP did it once again. It made a small push and then all of a sudden started selling off. And they are not wanting to lose. They're finally getting gains, right? They finally received some gains. They've been holding at 55, 60 cents for 4 years, and they finally got some gains. In fact, they had some serious gains, but they got greedy and they forgot to sell any. They didn't take any profit. And now they're starting to sell at really significantly lower prices than that they could. XRP's higher time frame chart lost its $2 support, dropping to a new yearly low of $1.61 on April 7th. But the altcoin managed to reclaim this critical level on April 9th. Even if XRP holds the $2 level, the price reflects a bearish market structure on multiple timeframes. And we've been talking about that now on this channel because we continue to get lower highs. And then this crazy, ridiculous spike was just because Trump said XRP was going to be in the reserve, and it is, but it isn't. As illustrated in this chart, it will potentially close a daily candle below its 200-day moving average, the orange line, leading to a prolonged correction period over the next few weeks. The key demand zone remains at 163 and 127, the blue box, where a period of accumulation might unfold for the altcoin.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.